All right, welcome back. Switched back to my place with August nested up there in her Eagles blanket. This is 5-5 Part 1, Operations with Functions. Turn to page 270, copy down the core concept right now. Basically, when you see a function, it's going to be named f. You're going to see another function named g. Make sure you go in order. If it says f plus g, then you do f first, then g. If it says g plus f, which it might later on in the section, then you do g first before f. Not so important in multiplication or addition, definitely important in subtraction and division. So, those are the different operations. I'm going to do numbers 1 and 2 on page 271. So when you're done copying down the core concept, turn to 271. And I'll do 1 and 2, and then I have 2 for you to do from the homework section or the classwork part. Okay? So number 1, they tell us, it's actually a 3-parter, maybe a 4-parter. F of x is negative 2x to the 2/3, and g of x is 7x to the 2/3. So they want us to add them first. So f plus g. So I'm just going to write down, once my marker opens, f is first, so negative 2x to the 2/3 plus g is 7x to the 2/3. Fortunately, I have the same variable with the same exponent, so really I'm just counting them up. I have negative 2 of them and I add 7 of them, so now I have 5 of them. And this is my answer, 5x to the 2/3. Now I'm going to subtract them, so it says f first, so f minus g. Now this is easy because it's just a monomial minus a monomial, but if you have 2 polynomials or even a polynomial back here, don't forget to distribute your negative. All right, again, same base, same exponent, so I'm just counting them up. Negative 2 minus 7 is negative 9x to the 2/3. All right, so that's the first 2 parts. Now in the directions, it says that they want us to evaluate what happens when we plug in 8 here, and what happens when we plug in 8 here. So you'll notice it says f plus g of 8 and f minus g of 8. So you can use a calculator. I actually left mine at school, but I can do the math, I hope, right here. So let me write it down. So the first step is to find it out with just x's, and then when we plug in a number, we plug it into our new function. So the addition function was this, right? And we're going to just plug in 8. So 5 times 8 to the 2/3. The cube root of 8 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So 5 times 4 is 20. You can go ahead and check our work in the back of the book. But seems like it should be correct because we know the cube root of 8, we know how to square it, and we can multiply it. So go ahead and you can do f minus g of x with me, but it's the same concept. We're going to change this to a minus sign. When we got just the generic function, the formula, it was negative 9x to the 2/3. They want us to plug in 8 for x. The cube root of 8 is still 2. 2 squared is still 4, and our answer should be negative 36. All right, that was number 1. On to number 2. When you're ready, you can restart. So they told us that f of x is 3x, g of x is x to the 1/5 power. This is the bottom of page 271, if you're a little lost. So they want us to multiply. Again, f is first, and g is next. Now, again, this is easy because these are monomials. If you had polynomials, don't forget your parentheses. Don't forget to distribute, FOIL, whatever you need to do. It depends on the math that you're given. So, let's see. 3x times x. All right, well, this is really x to the 1, but this is a fraction. When I'm multiplying the same base, I have to add the exponent. So how about we just say x to the 5/5, and I get 3x to the 6/5. Don't think that can be simplified, and here is a beautiful answer, 3x to the 6/5. Okay, dividing. This might be a little bit more tricky. F is on top, So put f on top, g is on the bottom. Oh, this isn't so bad. This is really, let's see, we're dividing the same base, so we subtract the exponents. This is really a 1, and 1 is 5 over 5. So 3 divided by 1, x to the 5 minus 1 is 4, so 3x to the 4/5. Okay? So that was the first two parts. Now they want us to plug in 32 to our answer. So you can get a head start on me because I have to take a whiteboard and erase it from before. So we're plugging in 32 to the multiplication problem, and we're plugging in 32 to the division problem. That's all that this means. Instead of writing x, you're going to write 32. So our multiplication problem was 3 times 32 to the 6 over 5. I know the fifth root of 32 is 2. And I know that 2 to the 6, if the fifth root of 32 is 2, then 2 to the 6 has to be 64. And that's going to come out to 100 and... Oh, that's not true. That doesn't come out to 128. That would be if that was 2. So 3 times 64, we got 3 times 60, which is 180. 3 times 4 is 12. So it comes out to 192. So that's multiplication. Go ahead and plug it in for division. I've got to rewrite the whole thing anyway. F over g of 32. That was 3x to the 4/5. Oh, so we plug in 32 for x. The fifth root of 32 is still 2. 2 to the 4th is 16. And 16 times 3, hopefully, is still 48. All right? So all we're doing is plugging in numbers. You can use your calculator. Like I said, I left mine at school, so I can't. Now that you have those notes and you've paused, rewound for whatever you need to do, go ahead and practice page 273, numbers 3 and 5, so you can check your answers in the back of the book. Be prepared to ask questions tomorrow in school, and there's going to be a part 2 to this coming up.